Hi, I'm Gloria. Thank you for joining me on this paint along. If you like my videos, please subscribe, share with your families and friends, like, and leave me any comments below. Okay, let's get started. We're painting this today. Uh, something like it, not identical to this. We're not going to paint so many people. Um, we are going to paint everything else. We're not going to paint that, and we're not going to paint that many people in the water, like I said. Okay, well, let's get started. I'll keep this here as reference. Okay, I've kept my palette covered, and you can see all my paints are still wet, moist. Okay, I'm using an 8x10, and I'm going to start with my 1-inch brush for the sky. So let's pick up some blue and white. Let's get started. And I'm swerving back and forth. There you go. And because we're going to have the reflections in the water as well, I'm just going to go ahead and do that now and get that out of the way. Just another easier way to do your sky and your water at the same time. And keep that motion, swerving back and forth, back and forth. I picked up a little bit of pink in there, but that's okay. I like that. Looks pretty. Just want to make sure that it reflects in the water. Okay. Okay, that's good. Now we're going to decide where our horizon line is. So let me put this down. What you can do is, if you don't have a steady hand, that's no problem. We have a solution for everything. You're going to use masking tape. Wait until this dries. You put your masking tape depending on where you want your horizon line to begin. Okay? We're going to do something like this for my painting. And you can do yours here if you like. But since you're following me, you might want to stick to 1/3 of the painting on top. I'm not going to use the tape, but you can. I'm going to go ahead and just draw my horizon line. And I'm going to start with just blue so I can see this. So we're going to 1/3 of the painting, which is 1, 2, 3. So we're going to start right here. Okay. And that's just to guide us. Just to guide. So you can see that. Okay. Blend it in. Blend it in. Okay. Now we're going to start with the clouds. Okay, let me pick up my filbert, soft filbert. Let me pick up some white. I'm going to try to follow the colors that I see on this painting. By the way, my husband painted that original painting. I have a picture because I like it, so we're going to try to follow that. See that? Beautiful, huh? Okay, again, we're picking up the white. I'm going to start my clouds right here. And I'm going to be pushing up. Pushing up. And wiggling. Pushing up and wiggling. And letting it fade. Let it fade. Yeah, push, push, push. Push, push, push. Looks like a little mountain. Pick up some more. let it fade, push up, and some of these clouds will be covered with the trees that we're going to be putting in. Push up, wiggle, let it fade. Same here. Push up, let it fade, push up, let it go off your canvas. We're going to do one here. You don't have to do as many. That's totally up to you. Push up. Okay. Little faded cloud back there somewhere. Little pink. Little pink. See how you get those little pinks in there? One coming from here. A little bit of white. Beautiful clouds. It's not cloudy. It's not going to rain. It's just beautiful clouds in the sky. Even on a perfect day, you'll see some clouds. There you go. Okay, one more, and we're going to call it quits for the clouds for now. Okay, let me go ahead and pick it up a little bit more white. I wanted that a little bit whiter. Push up. See, picked up my pink. Let's do it over then. I don't want that much pink in it. Okay, I think I like that. And we're just going to take some of that white that we have left over and kind of put it back in the water. Oh, picked up some of my pink. That's okay. How's that? Back and forth, back and forth. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to do some of those trees in the background. And we're going to start, you know what, I'm going to stick to this brush and see how that works. Again, my filbert. I'm going to go ahead and pick up some black, okay? Not even bother cleaning the brush. So I'm going to, let's see, this is where we're going to have land. We're going to have land here, okay? So that's where I'm going to be start putting in my trees. I'm going to tap, 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 pick up some more. And it's going to get smaller as you keep going further back, because for the perspective purpose of this, you want them to go smaller. Okay, there you go. Okay? Tap, tap. And keep it like that. That somebody's generator just went on. I don't know why. There you go. Went off again. Okay. This is all land. All land. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put some sand in here. If you notice, I left some of those blues coming through the trees. It gives it that beautiful effect. Okay. And I'm just going to go ahead and go out a little bit more. Just a little bit more. And I'm tapping very lightly. See, looks like trees in the distance. Tapping lightly. Let's see. Okay, I think that's good. Now let's go ahead and put some sand in there, and then we'll come back and put some more highlights on those trees. But let's go ahead and clean our brush. Okay. And let's put in some sand. I'm gonna grab this rough one. It's a filbert, but it's a rough one. This one is a filbert, but it's soft, real soft. This one is more for oils, and I like them. This is more for acrylics, but you can use either. Okay, let's go ahead and put some sand in there. I'm gonna start with dark brown, okay, and we're going to start here. Then we'll lighten it up later, okay? But let's start with the brown, kind of. There you go. And don't worry about it if you do pick some of that black that's still wet. That will serve as shadows from those trees. Okay. We're going to come to the foreground. We're going to make them bigger. There you go. And then we're going to close here. I'm scrubbing. Okay. Scrubbing to move that paint around. Okay. A little bit more. Let's see. Up a little bit more. Hopefully the camera's not moving since I'm moving the whole table. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and bring those shadows out by pulling from the trees that are still wet. Okay, I can always lighten them, but right now I'm just pulling. There's trees here too, we just don't see them, but we do want to see that shadow. Okay, this is why I'm doing this, putting some black here too. There's some shadows. Okay, shadows from trees. And again, don't worry about this being too dark because we're going to come back and lighten that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and clean my brush there. And while this is getting dry, we're going to go ahead and do a little bit of palms in the back. Right here. A little bit of palm, far away palms. And because you can't hardly see them, we're going to just mix a little bit of black with some green. Very lightly. Just so that they can seem far away. Okay, so I'm just kind of mixing. There you go. And I'm going to do some here so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, this is just far away palms. Let me dry it. It's too wet. Okay. Okay, this is just little palms. And we're not gonna give any details to these little palms because they're so far away. Okay, just kind of spread them out. See what I'm doing? All I'm doing is this. Let me show you here. Okay, all I'm doing is this is the palm, and all I'm doing is this. Okay, that's all I'm doing, just to kind of give it that look. You could tell they're palms, it's just that you can't see details, they're so far away. See, let's put one here. This one is even further away, so we keep them small. Isn't that pretty? No palms here in the foreground. So now what I'm going to do is, because I like more trees on this side, I'm going to go ahead and add that black over here with the 1 inch. You could stick to your filbert if you have it handy. Okay, and I'll show you what I mean. Mine is in water, but it's okay. I'm going to go ahead and pick this one up instead. And tap, 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 And by having it here, it just tells you that this one is in front of all this. These are in the back. Okay. I'm just going to do this. Give it that. Okay. Beautiful. Okay. Now, let me put a little bit of color in that water since it's getting dry now. A little bit more of that white. It picked up the pink. See, that's what's bad about not starting with a brand new palette with fresh colors on it. But that's okay. Okay. This is the water. We're going to blend that in. Blend it in before it dries. Once it dries completely, it's a little more complicated. See, it dried on me. So, go back. My canvas is moving. A little bit more. Let's put in a couple lines in here. Let's see. The water getting closer to shore. As you're doing this, if you create a beautiful line and it looks perfect to look like the water that we're doing now, don't mess with it. Just leave it, because if you like it, don't touch it, don't go over it, because sometimes when we go over something, it just doesn't come out the way we want it to. Okay, what I'm also going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of white along the shore. A little bit of white. Okay. A little bit more here. See, the sand just got wet. Okay. It's still wet, so it's still picking up that brown. That's okay. That's okay. Come on, give me that. Take that out. There you go. And I'm doing very light, very light. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take that white and push it into my ground. I'm just kind of pulling. Okay. See how dark it got? That's okay. We'll go back and lighten that up. But let's go ahead and work on those trees. Okay, so let's pick up some yellow. And the reason I'm going to pick up yellow mixed in with a little bit of green is because we have that dark black and it's still wet. And we don't want to make it any darker than that. So I'm just going to pick up, see that? I'm kind of mix it here on my palette. Alright, I'm going to play with it here. And again, very lightly. Very lightly. See that tree? How it came alive? Okay, we're going to do the same thing here. I'm going to tap back in my palette. Grab a little bit more yellow. Tap, tap, tap. Okay. And again, we're going to add highlights to all of this. Tap, tap, tap. Tap, tap. Looks like all trees. Okay. Now I'm going to put this one down, and I'm just going to grab the yellow, just yellow, and I'm going to add a little bit of highlights here. And what this also does is kind of separates the trees. You see that? And I'm going to leave this dark shadow here so it can separate some of the trees. I'm going to grab a little bit of white to lighten it up, some of them, which will be these here. Let's see. About here, little tip in the back. Can hardly see them because the sun is shining, so we're going to leave that one alone. Again, a little bit here, just to not lighten it up. Maybe here. Okay, and here. The reason why is because this one is standing out, making sure that I don't pick too much. Okay, awesome. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and lighten up the beach. It could be a beach, or it could just be a pretty landscape that has either soil or it has sand. But we're going to give it that color. So let me go ahead and clean my brush. Make sure it doesn't have any black, because I don't want it black. I want to lighten it up. So I'm going to try yellow ochre. Okay, let's try that yellow ochre. And then again, we lighten it up. So far, so good. Pull, pull. Okay. And if you put a color there that you don't like, leave it in there, go over it, but leave it in there. And when you're trying to cover it, you're going to notice that you're going to get some pretty colors underneath, and you don't want to cover all those pretty colors because you don't want your painting to be perfect. Okay, so we're going to add a little bit of white. So let me clean my brush. Let's add a little bit of white. Go on this side where it's clean. Okay, and I'm going to tap it. It's hard to find a clean spot on my, and just a touch of brown. Let's see. Okay. You see what I mean? So now you see some yellow ochres, you see some darks underneath, you see some dark brown, you see a little of everything, which is the effects you're looking for. So I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit more here. Going into my darks, which are the trees. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and darken over here a little bit, just to give it some perspective. You need those darks. The dark colors gives it a nice perspective. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up my black here, and I'm going to go do this. Okay. Not too much to the back, but enough to make it look like something's happening back there. And I'm going to pull some of those shadows. Okay, and let's blend in some of those shadows by doing it very light. Pull, 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 pull. And then some here, of course, because remember we said there were trees back here. We just don't see them. We're just going to see the shadows. Okay, shadows. Shadows. I'm pulling. Start here, pull, pull, pull forward. Okay. Let's see. The horizon line looks good, but I do want to add a little bit of white to it. So I'm just going to pick up an angle brush so that I can keep it flat. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up a little bit of white. Just a touch of white. To kind of see, looks like there are waves coming from back there, let me pull it up and bring it closer to you so you can see what I'm talking about. You see this here? The waves? Just by me putting that white line across it. Here we go. Look at those little palm trees all the way in the back. And again, I like to use 8 by 10. The largest I'll go is on this for video purposes 11 by 14. But again, this is an 8 by 10. So far I like working with the 8 by 10s. Okay, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the same white I did there and kind of scrub. I want to make sure that you can tell this is water. And again, you got to scrub pretty fast so it doesn't dry on you. Okay, there you go. Alright, let's see. Okay, here we go. Let's not make anything complicated for ourselves, so let's stick to what we like. And so far I like what I'm doing and the effect that I've gotten. So I really don't want to do too much to it. Now, if you want your clouds lighter, you can always go back and lighten them up. I don't want my lights in the sky any lighter than what it is. Here, if you want to use a little bit more yellow or maybe a little more green, you can do so. I'm going to go ahead and use my crazy brush. Remember my crazy brush? I'm going to pick up some green. Just plain light, bright green, just to give different colors here. Okay? Just to make it look a little different. You want your greens bouncing around. You don't want to keep them all looking one color. Okay, now I'm going to pick up some yellow. Without cleaning the brush, I just picked up some yellow. Okay, there you go. Keeping some of those darks in between the trees. Make sure you keep some of the darks. Don't get rid of your darks. Okay. Also, what we're going to do is we're just going to add little people in there. I'm good doing portraits, but with again, I'm good with doing portraits of people and animals. But when it comes out to tiny little people like this, like what my husband loves to do, I don't know, I find it so difficult for myself. Maybe for you it will come easy, but for me it's easier to paint a portrait than it is to paint so many little people. It's crazy, I know, but it's just the way it is for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pick up a little bit of black mixed in with some brown so that it can look like people. Now if you look at it closely with a magnifying glass, you say, what? That's not people. Well, yeah, you're absolutely right. But all we're trying to do is create the illusion that there are people here in this, see? It's complicated for me. So I'm just going to do the head for now, and then I'm going to do someone here standing. So I'm just going to put a little bit of dot there. I'm going to put a dot here. That's somebody in the water. Let me lighten it up so they all don't look the same. Okay, and then another one here. Let's put this one here. This one's going to be a little bigger, but he's closer to us. You know what we can do too? Well, let me finish one thing. I don't want to get ahead of myself, which I usually tend to do, and I don't want to do that. Okay, I'm going to clean my brush without washing, pick up a little bit of white. If you can see what I'm doing here. My palette is a total mess. Look at that. But hey, it works. Okay, we got the head, so let's just kind of give it a body. Not enough paint, so let's pick up some more. Okay, this one's gonna have a body, and he's in the water. Okay, this one a little body, and as you can tell, they just get smaller, hardly seeing them. Okay, I'm going to okay, and then I'm going to let him run up so you can see it. Okay, this guy or this girl is out of the water, so let's kind of make it like that. Okay, just a little bit of brown here, a little bit of black. Now say for example, I don't like that. He came out too big, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go ahead and wipe them out. And you say, wow, how is she going to wipe that out? I'll show you. We're going to pick up some yellow ochre with some of that little brownish to it. And I'm going to wipe them out. Watch this. You see how I wiped them out? He doesn't know I wiped them out. And the person looking at my painting doesn't know I wiped them out. But he used to be there. Used to be there, but now he's gone. Okay. There you go. That looks better. I'm going to add one more person. And I'm going to put them in the back. Way in the back right here. In the middle of the water somewhere there. Just a little head. That's all you're going to see. See? Just a little head. I actually... Nah, I don't want to. I said one and I added more. Okay. And the reason you only see the head because they're so far away, you really can't see much. Okay. So I'm just going to kind of, yeah, there you go. Kind of give it a little body. So they just, oh, look at that. Wow. I am just impressed myself. Okay, guy, here you go. You are in the water. I'll give you, there you go. You just got a pink shirt on. Okay? What about you? We're gonna give you, what about if we just give you a little yellow top? There you go. And we're going to give this one a pink top. There you go. Haha. Okay, now what we're going to do here is, because they are in the water, we got to give them a little bit of shadow. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up a little bit of that blue, that mixture that I had there. And let me pick up the right brush because I want to scrub. I just picked this one up. Or you can pick anything that you have. This one, you can, again, like I said before, you don't have to get picky. Just pick up any brush as long as it works for you. So again, I'm going to go ahead and pick up, see how tiny? I'm just going to kind of, that's a big reflection of him. So what I'm going to do is just kind of blend it in. Just give it a shadow that somebody's in the water. Okay? Yeah. Yeah. You can hardly see them, but you can see the shadows. Because somebody's in the water. Okay. You won't see their legs or anything because it's blurry under the water, so you really can't see. Okay? This one is just kind of sitting there. There's not enough water for him to be, what am I trying to say? For him to be standing. So it looks more like he's sitting or she's sitting. So what we can do is we can add, how about we add some legs to it? Okay, there you go. Let me get some of that brown. Brown. Let's add some legs. And here we go. Okay, now they're sitting. They're sitting on the shore. So now I just got to give it a little bit more shadow on the bottom. So, let's see, I picked up some white. Yeah, this is the shadow. Pick up a little bit more white. You see, now they're sitting. Look at that. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and pick up this brush and kind of give it a little more light on that water by the shore. Okay, I'm going to start here. And then I'm going to wiggle, 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 wiggle. Okay? Did that make a difference? This is where the water just came in, and that's why it's so light here. So you can just kind of pull if you like and scrub. See? Looks like the water just kind of, woo. There you go. You know how sometimes the water comes into shore and you run away, and sometimes it gets you anyway? I think I'm done. I like it. As you gain experience, you can always add a little road, some rocks, which I'll be teaching you in the near future. But for now, I'm going to call it a finished painting. Okay, this is just to give you an idea of different things you can do. I'm going to go ahead and sign here. I'm going to write Barreto. And again, you want to keep it your signature inside your painting. You don't want to bring it out too close to the edge, because when you frame it, it's going to cover your signature, and I don't think you want that, especially if it's a gift for someone who's going to have it in the wall. You want everyone that might visit. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add 19 here. And the reason I'm writing 19 here is because it's the year. Like I said, you can, sometimes I don't do it, sometimes I do, it doesn't matter, but just to show you, you have the option. Barreto's my last name, 2019, but I just write the 19. If you don't want to put it in the front, because you're afraid you might want to damage your painting, which you will not, but I suggest you write it in the front. You can also write it in the back and put the title of your painting in the back. Feel free to copy my paintings, do reproductions of your painting, your original painting, because even though you're going to try to do what I just did, yours is going to be different, and that's going to be beautiful because everybody's different. You see the difference here? My husband's and mine. Everybody's is different. So this is, I'm claiming this one as my own. You can claim yours as your own. So feel free to share with your friends. Excuse me. I think I'm done. Okay, guys. I'll see you on our next adventure. God bless. Adios, amigos.